I know you're tired of that weak, high, scoopy ball flight. Today I'm going to share 3 keys that are going to help you start to get some compression into the back of that golf ball. I'm sure you're tired of hitting those scoopy, high, weak iron shots. Those iron shots where the strike is invariably thin or you scrape the ground coming into the golf ball. There's no compression, there's not enough energy or sizzle on the golf ball coming off the face of your irons. What can we start to do to create that compression, to create that energy in the golf ball that's going to get it really penetrating through the air? We've all heard that sound, we've all had that feel of that golf ball sizzling off the face as it streaks towards the target. How can we get more of that? Well, we've got to get rid of the scoop. Now, first, a definition. What is scooping the golf ball? If I get a ball in play here, and I've got an alignment rod on the ground and my target line set up here, so you've got a reference point. But a scoop is somebody who gets into that position at impact. And you can see there, the shaft is quite vertical. The hands are lined up off the back thigh coming into impact. And whilst they might be able to hit the ball fairly straight, the quality of the strike and the trajectory of the flight is compromised. And what I mean by that is there's too much loft being delivered to the golf ball, and the low point of the arc, this club head swings on an arc, the low point of the arc is too far back, and as a result, it's pre-impact. As a result, that club is getting close to the ground and the player's not hitting down enough. And so if you hit that high, weak ball flight, you hardly ever take a divot after the golf ball and you feel like you don't get enough energy into it. I'm going to share 3 important keys with you here today. Key number 1 is going to be what's the cause. Key numbers 2 and 3 are going to be 2 little drills to help you overcome the cause. And so if you're a scooper, you are going to get to a point where you're going to put that much more energy into your golf ball. We're going to start to see the distance improve and we're going to get that ball flight sizzling off the club face. Okay, key number 1. What is it all about? What is the cause of scooping? And let's know this, it is without a doubt the face angle, and typically face angle on the way down. And so let's understand key number 1, we need to get the face in place in the downswing. We need to get the face in position in the downswing in order to compress the golf ball, in order to get into that great impact position. What is a great impact position? Well, it's one where the low point of the arc is going to occur after the club impacts the golf ball. It's one where the player's pressure, their weight is up in their front foot, the handle is in front of the golf ball, and as a result that's serving to de-loft the club. Less loft being introduced to the back of the golf ball means that we get more energy, a better smash factor. I'm sure many of you have heard that term. Interesting to note, which club in your golf bag do you get the highest smash factor on? Not many people will get this. It's actually the putter. Why? Because it's got the least loft, and so we're putting a lot of forward energy into that golf ball. And so how can we de-loft our club face by the time it gets to impact? We need to get key number 1 taken care of. We need to get the face in place. Okay, and so how are we going to do that? Well, many of you might be going, well, I need to strengthen my grip. That is not the case. Let's leave the grip alone for this video. We're going to get the face stronger by working our wrists differently. And I'm sure you've noticed so many of the top players in the world on the way down, coming down, have a little bit of that bow in their lead wrist, and what that does to the club face is it gets the club face just tipped down slightly. Many of you are under the false impression that the club face needs to be vertical, going up and coming down. I'd like to actually see the club face tip down slightly, going up and coming down. How is that going to happen? That's going to occur via that lead wrist. Okay, and so our wrists are going to play a big role in getting the face in place. Let's understand, we're going to get the club face stronger by making sure we've got a little bit of that bow. We can always just look at the club face and make sure that the face is tipped down. And once we've got that, now we're going to be able to drive up onto our front foot, rotate our body through and get that compressed strike. Okay, so key number one, let's understand. We need to get the face in place, get the face stronger, and it's going to come from wrist action. Number two, here's a drill to help us achieve that. And just a little preset drill. Key number two, a preset drill to get the face in place. Here's how we're going to do this. So we're going to set up to the golf ball, take your normal setup, normal grip, and we're going to get into this preset position. Now, the preset, the checkpoint, the starting point here is I need the shaft. You can see this, it's parallel to the ground. It's parallel to the target line as well. The leading edge is tipped down ever so slightly. If I set up this way so you can see this, the leading edge is tipped down ever so slightly. Why is that? Because my lead wrist has got some bow in it. And we're going to hit little shots from there. And so let's make a practice swing first here, Andrew. Get in that position. And I'm going to, from this starting point, we're going to, and it's very specific here, okay? We're going to wind up one foot and rotate through, okay? And the ball flight we should see should be fairly low. It should have a little bit of draw to it. Let's see what we can get. Lots of energy into this golf ball, even though we're not going to hit it very hard. So it's start there. Wind up. Okay, and you can see the ball, I know you can see the ball taking off there. It's coming off there very low. That was a little low on the face. Not a great strike, but certainly lots of de-loft going on there. I'm de-lofting the face, I'm getting that wrist in place. So as I wind up from here, go back and come down, you can tell I'm not really changing that wrist position. Okay, and so that's making it easy for me to go back and come through and get into that position. You can see very little loft on the club face there. Let's try it again. That was a better strike. Okay, low little bullet draws. Key number three. How can we move? How can we improve the quality of strike? How can we move that low point forward so that, yes, we're hitting it crisply all the time, not just some of the time, and we're getting that club to bottom out post golf ball, after it's made contact with the golf ball. And so you can see I've got my alignment rod on the ground. I think this is a great little practice station for anybody really. But what I'm going to look for in this key number three is we're going to move the low point forward. So I'm set up here, I've sold the club in line with the alignment rod right behind where my golf ball would be. I'm going to, as I go back, and I'm just going to make half swings. As I go back here, I'm going to feel that face in place. But very important here, on the way through, and this is the whole purpose here, on the way through, I want you to scuff up the grass forward of where the club was sold. And that's why we've got the alignment rod on the ground. Club is sold in line with it, and I go back, and hopefully you can see that. Here we go. There, that club's brushing the ground forward of where it's sold, where it's touching the ground. And that's indicating to me that my mass, my weight is shifting forward. That's going to give me a better chance to get the handle forward. And if I get the handle forward, you know what happens to the loft? Well, the loft comes down, and as the loft comes down, the energy in the golf ball goes up. Okay, that's the compression. That's certainly getting rid of the scoops. Okay, and so what I'd like to see is we're going to put a ball in play here. And I'd like to see 2 practice swings and 1 shot. And so create a little more room there. Okay, so 2 practice swings. And it doesn't have to be full size or full speed. I just want to make sure that you get the ground after the golf ball. We don't have to hit this ball hard either. We're just trying to learn something new here. De-loft the club. There we go. Okay, and I definitely brushed the ground after the golf ball there. And so we are looking to get rid of this high, weak ball flight where we feel like we're just not hitting it as far as we should, as far as we're capable of hitting it. We're not being efficient with our energy. How are we going to do that? Well, let's understand we need to get the face in place. Key number 1. A drill to help us get the face in a better position. key number 2. And a little exercise to give us a sense of, okay, once we've got the face in place, and that's very important because we cannot do anything until we get the club face stronger, less weak, less open. Once we've got the face in place, a little exercise to help us get a sense of what it's like to move differently and get the low point of the arc forward so we can get that compression. Okay, I hope that's clear to everybody. If you have any questions, please leave them below. If you enjoy this video, I would love to have you as a subscriber to my channel. Click the little bell, that way you get notified. I know all the people that I like to follow in anything on YouTube, I make sure I click the bell. That way, anytime they post a video, I get notified. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you tuning in. Be safe out there.